live. It's just loading the preview. There we go. Right, we're in. We are live. Oh, an error occurred. Please try again later. What's going on that about? Oh dear. Right, are we live? If you can see us, then yep, we are live. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Just had a notification we are live, so
okay.
I thought it had a bit of an error pop up, but looks like we're all good. So, welcome to another episode of Vanguard Tactics Ask VT. Guys in the chat, how we doing? Welcome all. Ian, James, Jack, XD. Hope you boys are well. Mark, how are you doing?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
So we've
Yourself?
Mate, I'm great. So we've got a good look at this. Thank you to Goblin Gaming. Got the new now Chaos Knight Codex here. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, Mark, isn't it?
Certainly is.
So
there's been a lot of Chaos Knight
chat.
Yeah, and people are interested to see what it's going to offer, see it on the tabletop, that sort of thing. So you've been studying it hard, like the scribe of Warhammer 40k that you are. Yep. You've been play testing as well, so we're not just reading a book. Well, I'm listening to you after you've read the book, but you've been out smashing it, debilitating opponents, or not, as the case may be, and seeing how they actually play on the tabletop. So I think that's that advice for the guys from your experiences will be helpful.
Yeah, and also, guys, at the end of this episode, this is why you need to wait till the end, because at the end of this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you the list I've just created. So that's what I'm doing. It's going to be a Chaos Knight, Chaos Soup, and this is a tasty little combo that I haven't heard anyone talking about yet. And to be honest, I haven't actually listened to that many podcasts or watched many videos on Chaos Knight, so you're getting my fresh look at this. So if I've repeated anything that some other podcasters said, look, there's some obvious ones in here, but then there's some also really cool ones that you might not have thought about. So we're basically going to do that. We're going to do an in-depth review, and the review that we're going to be doing tonight is going to be a little bit like the in-depth faction focus that we deliver on our mentorship program. So on our mentorship program, we basically go over every single codex. Okay, we don't just take the popular ones, we do every single one on our year-long course so that there's absolutely no gotcha moments. So you're going to get a bit of a taste of what it's like to get a full deep dive into a codex. But then obviously on the mentorship, we teach you everything surrounding it, how to bring in allies, how you choose secondaries with it, and we go into a lot more detail around list construction and tempo of play, attacking, defending, slowing the game down, speeding it up with what units, when and where. But you're going to get a bit of a taste of it, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this episode. So anyway, Mark, what have you got on the painting table so far, mate? What have you been working on?
Couple of things. I have in front of me here a very sexy Telemon. You won't be able to see it because it's only black at the minute. Get the airbrush out at some point this weekend, and that'll become one of the beautiful golden boys that I own.
Nice.
Also, built and half completed my knight.
Nice.
I don't own a knight. I've used yours twice, I think.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of them, but I'm gonna stick them in my Imperium soup list, or stick that one in my Imperium soup list for sure, and then see how we get on with it.
Nice.
One of the options. I'm collecting models at the minute for my Imperium list, so I can have some different combinations. I'm utilising. I've got a knight. I've got quite a few custodes. I've got bikes, got the grav tanks, got Telemon, got various infantry guys, Terminators, wardens, all sorts of stuff. I've got quite a bit of guard at the moment as well, building that up at the moment. Some tanks, plenty of troops. I'm looking at different combinations and seeing how it works, and seeing what works. And we're trying to be successful with Imperium soup.
Nice quality. And actually, your video about how you have created your custody army and how you got it greetings of the warp went live on Patreon today, by the way.
Oh, excellent.
And Jack's already said enjoyed your custodes video today, Mark. So obviously Jack's already watched that. So yeah, people are loving the custodes at the moment. I think the Golden Boys.
Yeah, I think that a pure custodes list is has some major weaknesses, but picking the right units to go with other Imperium units can be a really powerful combination for domination on the tabletop.
Yeah.
So the deal was that what we said that it was your fault basically. I had those bikes hanging around for about 6 months. I wanted you to paint them for me. So you said, right, the deal is I'll come and paint them for you, but you've basically got to start a whole new army, spend thousands of pounds, many weekends. Your wife will never see you again. Take it to Battlefield Birmingham and see if you can be successful.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think our original agreement was I had to take Chaos to Greetings.
Yeah.
So if I was to take Chaos to Greetings and paint up the Chaos army, you had to also paint an army as well. So, which I ended up painting anyway. You just have to do the tanks.
Well, what I've since found is that the bikes aren't that useful actually. So they're currently gathering dust. So thanks for your efforts, mate. You can have a narrative game with them at some point.
I think you just need to run a big unit of them.
Yeah, I think that is it 18 you can fit in 2,000 points. I think.
Just want one massive unit in the middle, just steaming up the battlefield. That's what you want. Anyway, no, that sounds good, mate. You've got some good little things there. So, on my painting table at the moment is...
What you got?
Well, my hobby side of 40Ks took a bit of a step back at the moment because I've been putting so much time into the mentorship program that I've been working on. There's also, guys, a free course, an online free course I've just finished, which will be coming out very soon, all about how to master the ITC. So I do a 5-lesson tutorial on how to master the ITC, and if you want to get that, then all you need to do is sign up to our email list, www.vanguardtactics.com, and I'll be sending you out all the information about that free 5-video course. And again, it gives you a little bit of a taster of what the mentorship is like. So, and that's completely free, guys. So we might charge for it in the future, but at the moment, we're doing a bit of a free offer on that. So go sign up on our mailing list if you haven't done so already. So I've been working really hard on that. Also, I'm just kind of getting ready for the ETC. So I had Cali, which I haven't spoken much about yet. So I had Cali last weekend, the weekend before.
Yeah.
Where I took the Death Watch and also a Knight and Guard. Did really well with that list. That is the list I'm taking to the singles event in Serbia, which is a 6-round event. And then I already know who I'm playing first game. And then for the team event, I'm using my Ynnari Harlequins. So big announcement there. Ynnari Harlequins are what I'm using. Not the strongest list, but I'm going to really enjoy it, and that's in the team event. And later on this week on Friday, I'm going to be posting all of my team's lists, so all 8 players, all of our army lists that we're taking to the ETC as a team are going to be going up on Patreon on Friday. So I'm going to upload all of our lists and a little bit about them as well, if I can do a little video on them. So if you're interested in that, then you can go and check them out. So I'm just kind of this week, I've got to make a list of everything I've got to paint and build ready for Sunday before I leave, because I'm going with the Glasshammer guys and we're going to be driving there over 2 days. So I'm going to be playing with Manny, Dan Bates and Adam Trotter on Sunday, getting some test games in, and then driving Sunday and Tuesday. So I need to get just some Harlequins finished up, a couple of bases, little bits and bobs, little touch-ups, so everything's looking pristine before I go.
I'll tell you something I saw only yesterday, which really impressed me. I was looking at the ITC rankings.
Mm-hmm.
I think Manny's 3rd overall in the ITC at the minute.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible. Great work, mate. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Manny's doing very, very well there. So, yeah, number 1 player in the UK at the moment. So I look forward to beating him on Sunday.
Indeed, yes. Has he got like 200 guardsmen to play against you or something?
Yeah, pretty much. He's got a really cool list actually, so it should be good little test game, I think. He's just a great player to play against anyway. So anyway, so that's the plan. So just finishing off those little bits. I've also got here unbuilt a new Baneblade. I've got a Wyvern. I've got a Chaos Knight. Again, thank you to Goblin Gaming for sending that to us. And I'm currently in the process of starting my new army. Once I've finished the Chaos Knights quickly. So that's a little hobby project, the Chaos Knights, to add into my already Chaos army. And then the next thing will be to add in my new army, which will be Genestealer Cult, which will be my, I think, 2000, the back end of this season, maybe next year's army will be Genestealer Cult.
Sounds good.
So that's the plan. Yeah. So anyway, Mark, what's on today's agenda? What are we going to go over first?
Any games played?
Well, I just played a minute ago, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I used my Ynnari Harlequins against Chaos Knights. I played against my boy Joe. Joe, actually, who I've been coaching for the last 11 weeks, has done just astonishingly well at the recent event he played in at the weekend. So Joe was really struggling to win games, and he's kind of like, admits he's failed to qualify for the GT finals. Sort of got me on board to coach him, and we've basically been doing that 11 weeks straight now. And last weekend he went to his first ever tournament and won every single game.
Fantastic, that's brilliant.
Went undefeated, came second, and he's just feeling a lot more confident about going into the GT qualifiers now. So really happy with Joe's performance with his Dark Elder and Harlequin army that we've been refining. So, and I've been using lots of different lists against him. It was that list that inspired my little thing on social media I did last week on Facebook, where I did about like what was the play, what's the play that should have happened.
Yeah. Which
people seem to like, so I'll do more of those as well. But he actually used Chaos Knights today for the first time.
Okay.
So
you got some experience of playing Chaos Knights and playing against them as well.
Yeah. So I used them last week against Joe's Harlequins and Dark Elder, and I won that game. And then this week I used the Eldar Ynnari Harlequins, and I got the better of Joe. So I'm 2 for 2 in the last 2 weeks.
Super, very good.
Yeah, but no, it's good. We had a really good game. Really interesting game tonight, actually, where Joe deployed first. I spent 3 CPs. Anyway, actually, I don't want to talk about this too much, if that's okay.
Okay, fair enough.
And the reason for this, I don't want to talk about it. And the reason for this is because if I'm using this list at the ETC in Serbia and people are watching, then I'm going to be in trouble because people will know exactly my plays.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to talk about this after Serbia, if that's okay, just because it means a lot, obviously, to my team. I don't want to let them down.
I have a request for you. I thought that the post you put out and the video after with the tactical quiz, if you like, was really good. People seem to like it. Any chance we could get another one this week?
Yeah, see what we can do.
Cool. If guys in the chat, if you or you're watching this after we've been live, if you're interested in that, if you caught up with it, we posted it, or you posted it on Insta and also Facebook, and then you did a video.
The video's only on Facebook.
Okay. So, but you can go to Vanguard Tactics Facebook page and you'll see the video there. I think it's about 20 minutes or so. So you go through it in detail. And it's a nice little, people at work or whatever and checking their phones at lunchtime, a little bit of a quiz, leave a comment, and then come back for your video later.
Yeah, make sure you look at the image first that I posted, and you then watch the video after that. So, and think what you would have done, because it's a training exercise, basically.
Cool.
And you've had a couple of games, haven't you, actually, last weekend?
I played in a little tournament on Saturday. It was a 3-game tournament, team tournament. So it was Imperium against Xenos, so 5 against 5. I had a dalliance back with Team Xenos.
Mm-hmm.
There was already 5 Imperium players, so I couldn't take any of those guys. So the Xenos guys were one short, so I joined up with them with Drakari, and I was pretty successful.
Nice.
We played 3 games, pure Maelstrom,
mm-hmm.
and in total our team scored about there was 175 points at the end of it, VPs.
Mm-hmm.
I scored 75 of them, so it was pretty good.
A strong 40% of your 5-man team.
Yeah, it was Guard for game 1, followed by Guard game 2,
mm-hmm.
followed by Guard game 3. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I'd do that well actually. The second guy was actually super. He had knights and stuff, but the list I took worked really well. So it was 1,500 points. Took 3 Talos, 6 Grotesques, a squad of Racks, a Homunculus, 3 Ravagers, and some Venoms with Cabalites inside. I took some advice from Scary, who was saying that the blasters aren't really working for Cabalites. Try the Shredder. So I took Shredders, and we hit the nail on the head. They seem to be a bit more effective than the blasters, because the blasters, you just struggle to get the wound through, you know.
Well,
the Shredder's much more reliable.
Last year at the LGT, I took 3 units of Scourges.
Oh yeah,
with Shredders.
Mm.
I mean, I'm just ahead of the curve, but anyway.
Indeed, yeah. But it was cool. I really enjoyed it. I had a great day gaming. Played 3 great opponents. Had a lot of fun. Was good to blow the dust off the Drakari again, you know, and get back in the swing with them. I still think that they've got plenty of potency, despite the fact that you can't use Doom and Jinx anymore.
Oh, you're so strong anyway. Yeah, they don't really need it. So, anyway. So let's get on to the good stuff, while people are here. So again, if you've only just joined us, at the end of this video, I'm going to be going through with you the list that I've just written for Chaos Knights. So I'm going to be going over that list at the very end of this show, what the list is. Give it a try. Let me know what you think of it. But it is filthy, and I don't think anyone's come up with this style list before.
Sounds good. So, Stephen, I'm going to pick your brains, as you're now the expert in this field where Chaos Knights are concerned. So, you've sat down with the Codex. Could you talk us through the types of knights that are available? Are they identical to the Imperial ones with different names and more horns, or have you got something slightly different?
Okay, so there are some big differences here, okay? Now, I'm going to go through with you the bare bones of what this looks like. There are essentially you've got the War Dogs, or War Glaives, okay? Now, these boys are your, you've got one with the twin autocannons and one with the fusion and basic, or melter, thermal lance, whatever you want to call it, and the chainsword. So you've got those are still exactly the same, pretty much, okay? No real change there. But this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Now, this is where I believe they've toned down the knights, okay?
Okay.
So you get something called where is it? A Knight Despoiler. So a Knight Despoiler is our classic knight that we're very, very familiar with, okay? He is the knight. The Despoiler is the one that you can give any weapon combination you want to, okay? Obviously not the Gallant or the Valiant weapons, but within the regular sort of...
Excuse me.
Within the regular knight chassis, this is the one you can give him twin Gattlers, you can give him a Gatler Thermal. So basically, in equivocal terms, he could be a Gallant, he could be an Errant, he could be a Paladin, he can be a Crusader, yeah. And or you can go double Avengers, double Battles. You can do any combo you want. Now, this is the biggest difference. There is only one type, the Despoiler, whereas in the Imperial book, you could have 3 Crusaders, or you could have Paladins, and you can have Gallants, and you can have basically. The rule of 3 now starts to limit knights, okay? And this is where people are going wrong already. I've already seen this. I've already seen lists with 4 Despoilers in. But because they think they've given them different weapons, it's a different knight. It's not. You still have to abide by the rule of 3. So anyway, let me give you some workarounds here. So you've got the Knight Despoiler, who we're mainly going to be talking about today. You've then got the Knight Tyrant, which is basically the Galleon, or the... not the Galleon, the Valiant equivalent, or the Castellan equivalent, okay? But we probably won't be talking too much about them today. We've also then got the Knight Desecrator, and he's got a laser destructor, but the weapon isn't particularly good, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this guy. But he's basically a new knight with a laser. He's the one that you get in the box, and basically his laser destructor, and this is why it's not particularly good. He's a regular knight, toughness 8, 24 wounds. But for his points, his laser destructor's only 60 inch range, only, pretty good, but it's only heavy D3 shots. It's strength 14, -4, D6 damage, and on a roll of a 6 to wound, you do D3 mortal wounds. So it's just that D3 shots, statistically it's 2, he's hitting on 3s, 1 maybe hits. It's just not reliable enough.
If you're shooting another knight or something with a invulnerable save, so another knight's on a 4-up, then 50% chance of getting 1 through or not. It doesn't seem like a great amount of poke for your points.
And because he's not strength 16 with that weapon, you're only wounding on 3s.
Yeah, not 2s.
If you had a slightly better ballistic skill or something, or it was a flat 6 shots, maybe you take him. But so anyway, we probably won't talk too much about him, but he's an option, I suppose. Then you've got the Knight Rampager. Now he's basically our old school gallant, and this is how you can get around it. You could take 3 basically Knight Despoilers, your regular boys, and then you could take a Rampager in addition to that to get your 4th knight in. And he's basically the old school gallant with an extra attack, 5 attacks. And he hits on 2s as well. So he's pretty mean, basically. And he gets another little cheeky attack. So an unmodified roll of a 6 gets you an additional hit. So he's pumping out some attacks, basically. So I think the Rampage is okay. He's a little bit more in points, but he's not too bad. All right?
Okay.
And he comes stock. You can't give him any other weapons. So that's pretty much the units. But the combinations are where we get really interesting. So you've essentially got 2 houses. I'll call them houses because we're familiar with that.
Yeah.
And basically they are called the dreaded... it's called the dreaded host anyway. But basically what you've got here is the traitor lances, they're called. All right, and they get basically the different ambitions. So houses, ambitions, same thing. So you've got one called the Iconoclast ambition or house, and then you've got the other one called Infernal. So there's only 2. Okay, you go Icono or Infernal. Now most of the people that I have listened to have been really hyping up the Infernal class. Okay. So let me talk you through what the Infernal class gets you.
Okay.
You get a cheeky little surge. Okay, so at the start of your movement phase, you can basically demonic surge. And what you can do is you roll a d3, and there's 3 options that happens to you, and you take a mortal wound, okay? However, if you pick it, you take d3, okay? So if you really needed one of the surges to happen, then you're going to be basically taking d3 mortal wounds. But here's the thing. On a roll of a 1, or pick a 1, you get 2 extra 2 to the movement plus 1 to the advance and charge rolls. And that can be combined with a warlord trait, which also gives you +1 advance and charge. So now you've got a knight that moves 14 inches, okay? And there's another way to get this boy even faster, to give him 16-inch move. So you could have a 16-inch moving knight with d6 plus 2 to his advance, and then another 2d6 plus 2 to its charge. and you can advance and charge because it's full tilt is still in there. So that is a stupidly quick night, right?
Yeah.
I mean, averagely, you're rolling 3.5, so let's just call it 3. You're going to get a 5-inch advance. You're going to get a 9-inch charge range, so that's 14. You've got a 20, what's that, like 30, nearly 40-inch threat range there?
First turn charge then, basically.
Pretty much. 16 plus, 16 plus 14, something like that. 30-inch charge range, basically. Really nice. So that's good. But
what's it like in combat when it gets there?
Oh, brilliant. Well, the same knight profile, right? Okay. So this could be on the Rampager that gets 5 attacks with the gauntlet or the fist. You could give him, a thing where he gets 3 attacks per every single one. So there's options, right? The other thing is here, you could give him, if you roll a 2 or you pick 2, +1 toughness. So now you've got a toughness 8 knight.
Okay.
Sorry, toughness 9 knight.
That's 9, yeah.
Toughness 9 knight. And then number 3 is you select one ranged weapon. This had to be FAQ'd. One weapon, guys. And you add 1 to its strength and damage characteristics. So if you went for that rapid fire battle cannon, all of a sudden now strength 9, D3 +1 damage, which is really good against, obviously, other knights. If you're fighting against Eldar Planes, maybe you go for the strength 7 Avenger Gatler. And then you've obviously got damage 3. So again, that's really cool. So that's the Infernal House. I'll carry on with the Infernal House before I go to Icono, okay? Just to make this really clear rather than jumping back and forth. Now, the stratagems are very similar to what you would expect with the regular knights, okay? With a few differences. I'll cover the really cool, fancy, chaosy ones as well. But you've got rotate iron shields, basically. You've got, essentially, you've got the heirlooms. You've got the warlord ones where you could get warlord traits in, obviously, relics. You've got devastating reach, death grip, that you'd expect. You've got full tilt, like advance and charge. So you've got all the regular ones. What you don't have is the ability to fight on your full bracket, though. Okay, that one has been removed. Okay, so you don't get that. But the Infernal class gets something similar. So what they get is for 3 CPs. If you don't blow up, you can stand back up and fight. And I think you stand up with D3 remaining wounds. So this is like the old House Tyrannus. I think it was the equivalent. So they've basically got the zombie knight. Okay. You've then got and that's once per battle. They've capped that already, straight in the book. Also for Infernal House, at the start of the fight phase, and you select obviously one model, roll until the end of the phase. Basically, each enemy that is destroyed, and you roll a d6 on a 4+, it regains a wound up to 6 wounds. So if you went into, let's say, I don't know, a unit of 20 acolytes, and you laid down, 18 attacks, and you killed 16, you roll 4 dice, and you're going to get 6 4-ups. So then you'd regain 6 wounds. So you could basically die, come back to life, charge into combat, or heroically intervene into combat, pick up some models, and then regain. So you'd already have D3, average 2. Now you're back up to 8 wounds. Okay, and you could do that every turn, basically. Okay. So that makes them a little bit more durable, which is nice. You've then also got the Infernal House where before the battle, heavy stubbers are strength 5, nothing to write home about. And then there's one where essentially, until the end of the phase, when a psychic test is taken for an enemy model within 12 of your knight, the enemy suffers Perils of the Warp on any dice roll instead of a double 1. Yeah. So yeah, that's all right. But again, it's not really that useful. Okay, so Infernal class.
Because of the range.
Yeah. Yeah. When a psychic tested enemy for enemy wall in 12 knight, that roll suffers 1 Perils of the Warp on any dice roll instead of a double 1 or double 6. Yeah. So, and that's 2 CPs. The thing is,
unless you're a Farseer that doesn't care about more wounds because you can get rid of him on a 2-up, then basically you're shutting down the psychic because it's unlikely that your opponent's going to utilise any psychic powers because they don't want to lose the psychics. So they're going to try and, I take it, what I would do is try and run off out of that 12-inch bubble and then cast a psychic power in the movement phase.
Exactly. So, but that is why they've had a lot of, like, you know, people are like, oh my god, yeah, you know, strength 7 Avenger with damage 3 and I'm going to die and stand back up. But there's a few problems with it, okay? And already, Jack is in the chat has already mentioned this. You're standing back up with 2 wounds left, or 1 to 3 wounds left. You're hitting on 5s, okay? So even if you've got 15 attacks, hitting on 5s, not many hits. 5 hits maybe.
Yeah.
And then you got then you've got a wound. Then they have to fail their save, and then you have to roll a 4-up. Okay. Jack said now they've FAQ'd it to any doubles, I think, which makes more sense on that psychic test. But anyway, so then I don't really think Infernal Class is the one, which is why I am an Iconoclast kind of guy, which I've been running. Let me talk you through Iconoclast. Because on the principle of it, doesn't sound that great. Basically, in combat, you get +1 AP. So in combat, your Stampy feat's -2. You're like, oh, that's not great. And then also, you get an extra attack until the end of the turn. That's okay. Yeah, that's actually probably the best bit about this. And then if an enemy model flees from failing a morale test within 12, another model flees as well. Okay? So, yeah. Not particularly great, that bit, but here's where it gets spicy. So let's go over to the Iconoclast Stratagems. Okay? Now, there are 4 Iconoclast stratagems. One of them gets overlooked a lot, but I like it anyway, and I'm going to tell you some really cool combos that you could do with this, okay, with your 3 knights, okay? Use this stratagem at the start of the fight phase. Select an enemy unit within 1 inch of an Icono household, basically from your model that charged, until the end of the phase. When resolving attacks with melee weapons by an Iconoclast household, you can re-roll the hit roll, okay? So basically you're getting re-roll hits in combat. Pretty nice, okay?
Yeah.
That's for 2 CPs. Now, here's the other thing that you can do is the other 3 stratagems that you have available are vows, okay? These vows, you can only select one, and that basically means the vows, you can only take one, and then...
Okay. Or per turn.
Yeah, so basically... Use a stratagem at the start of the... use a stratagem before the battle. Select a household model from your army, and you declare a vow. Okay. If it takes this vow, it can't take any other vows. Okay. And there's basically 3 to pick from. Until the end of the battle, keep a tally of enemy models destroyed as a result of attacks made by this model, and add 1 to the attacks characteristics for every 10 killed. Okay. So if you're playing against orcs, this guy picks up 40 orcs, yeah, over the turns 1 and 2. He's going to be going into combat with an additional 4 attacks, okay? And because you add this to the characteristics, when he does Stampy feat, he's then going to basically triple those, okay? So you've now got a knight with 4 attacks, +1 for charging. He's got 5 attacks. Let's say he's picked up 40 orcs before he gets into combat. Then what would happen then is you'd get another 4 attacks, so now you're at 9 times by 3 is 27 attacks in combat.
27 attacks in combat, that's going to mush those orcs.
He's going to mash them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a very easy way to get these boys hitting on 2s as well.
Okay, cool.
So hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, and you get that other -1, which takes them to... I can't remember what Stampy feat is, if it's -2 or -3, but... Whatever it is, you're going to get +1 to it. Stampy feat... Oh, it's -2, so you'd get that to -3. Okay, anyway. Sorry if I said -1 earlier. Okay, so then the other vow, this is the one that I really enjoy the most, okay? It's 2 CPs, though, rather than 1. And basically, unmodified wound rolls of 1, 2, and a 3 don't wound you.
Okay.
So now you've essentially got a toughness 9 knight. So that really cool thing that the other guys have got, we've got it too, but we just got to pay 2 CPs for it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Then the next one, the Vow of the Beast Slayer. Really enjoyed this one when I used it last week. Basically, and all the stratagems can be only used once per battle. Okay, so you can't just go Vow of Carnage, Vow of Carnage, Vow of Carnage. You can only take them once, all right?
Got you.
So basically, this vow is you reroll ones to wound.
Okay, nice.
Which is really cool, okay? Which I used again last week, but only when the a model has wound characteristics of 8 or more. So it's really good against vehicles, obviously, or monsters and stuff, okay? So these vows are beautiful. That's why I really like Iconoclast the most. So they're your two factions, or your two houses, so to speak. We've gone over the majority of the stratagems that I want to talk about.
So, Steve, just to, if I've understood correctly, then I think the message is that there's basically two sorts of knights that are going to be mostly competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say that you'll see, but if you want to have a good build, you're going to build from the knight that you can make anything from.
Yep.
Which was called the
Despoiler.
And then you've got the other knight, which is a bit more combat oriented. The Rampager.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I've understood correctly, your advice is that out of that book, they're the two knights that you should be playtesting, should be putting in your list and seeing how you get on.
Yeah, they're just most points efficient.
Yeah.
You know,
what sort of points are you looking at? Like, are they very much the same as your Imperial Knights? So if you want to take the sort of Crusader version, are you looking at like an identical sort of points?
Okay, so the Rampager, the combat one, is about 390. Okay, pretty good. The Despoiler with twin thermal cannon. The thermal cannon went down in points.
Okay.
The thermal cannon is only 55 points. Okay, so twin thermal cannon, which I really like, and the heavy old rocket boy at the top, which does 3 shots, -2 d6 damage. So this is like your night killer, basically.
Okay.
He comes in at a cheap 442 points. Without the Top Gun, he's under 400 points, because that's 45 points alone. So, you know, for twin thermal, I think this guy's really cool. You've then got the twin battle cannon boy. He comes in it, and again, I've given him the good rocket, the 3 shots, okay, for 45 points. So again, you take that off, but he comes in at 516. So he's probably coming in at about 460 with twin battle cannon, because again, the battle cannons also come down. Okay.
Got it.
Then the Knight Despoiler with the twin Avenger cannon. He's coming in at 485 points. So pretty similar to a Crusader.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
So the Rampager and the Despoiler, the main two. The Castellan type Chaos Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You're not that keen, and is the reason being the same reason that you don't see many of the Castellans now? It's the points increase. Yeah,
for 700 points, I'd rather take 2 knights with 2 fusion cut cannons, you know?
Yeah.
Just think for that many. I mean, a Castellan re-rolling, and oh, by the way, this is the other thing that Chaos get, which I forgot to mention, is a really nice stratagem. Tale of Destruction, 2 CPs, re-roll the hit roll. Now, guys, listen up carefully. Re-roll the hit roll. So, that doesn't mean failed hit rolls. This means any hit roll. So, let's say you're hitting on 3s and you're at a -2 modifier. You're still re-rolling 3s and 4s that would have missed. Really good. Okay, so when we go on to, like, you know, the meta at the moment, Eldar planes are very prevalent. I've got 2 ways to absolutely smash Eldar planes with this army. Okay, and I'll go over those.
So if we start to talk about a little bit of a build for people, I know we're going to see this sexy list you've got for everybody at the end. If you're starting to look at a build, you're thinking, right, okay, I've got I want to probably put in a Despoiler in, maybe one of these Rampagers, I want to go Iconoclast. We think that's the better stratagems.
Yeah.
You've got the chart, the vows, like you say. You can start building those in yourself. Obviously, you've been over them, but people will have their own preferences.
Yeah.
So that gives us a good grounding.
Mm-hmm.
What other sort of attributes can you have, like warlord traits, things like that? What else is good?
So there's two more things that we haven't spoke about, but also this 2 CP stratagem can also be used in the fight phase. Okay, so or in Overwatch, which again might not sound great, but when you've got Twin Avenger Cannon with 24 shots and you're re-rolling, and you just need to kill something before it gets you in combat, it's not a bad little shout, you know. Let's say there's that Blood Angel Smash Captain that's coming in, and you know that if you just get one hit through, he's not going to hurt you and he can't fight twice and kill you, right? So actually, sometimes re-rolling all your misses on this could be a good stratagem to use. Situational, but good. But again, re-rolling all misses in the fight phase, you know, let's say you've got Knight with 27 attacks going in, 2 CPs, re-roll all misses, happy days. So some good combos. And that means, people don't think about this either, but you've got that CP for 2 CPs, 1 Knight could re-roll all misses, and then you could use the other Iconoclast one. So if 2 Knights are going in, he could also be re-rolling all misses in the same fight phase because they're different stratagems.
Cool, yeah.
Really good. So anyway, we then get onto something called Dread Blades. Okay, Dread Blade packs and Damnations. Now the Imperial Knights had something similar, but it didn't get a look in the Imperial Knight section because you had to lose your household trait if you became a Free Blade, I think it was called, okay?
Yeah.
But they're pretty much exactly the same. So what happens is you can pick one pact. So basically, think of it as a pro and a con, okay? You can pick a pro, and you've got 6 to pick from, or you could roll 2 random ones, okay? So there's a couple here that really stand out to me. So what's the biggest problem, guys, in the chat? What is the biggest problem with a Rampager? Your Gallant equivalent, the one with no weapons. I'll give you 10 seconds to put it in the chat. What is the biggest problem with the Gallant or the Rampager? You can put it in the chat while I move on to the next one. So there's one here called Demonic Vigor. You roll a dice. On a 1 to 3, you get 2 plus 2 movement. So that's what I said earlier. You get that 16-inch mover. On a 4 or 5, you get plus 1 weapon skill, so you're now hitting on 2s. And then you've got if you roll a 6, you then become ballistic skill 6.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, not 6. 2.
2.
You get ballistic skill 2. Okay, so therefore you can have Twin Avenger Boy hitting on 2s, rapid fire battle cannon hitting on 2s. All right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Guys already comment in the chat. What's the worst thing about the? Obviously, a lot of them have said like, oh, you don't have any weapons. Here's the thing. The problem with, and this is why this pact for me is a number 1 take for the Rampager. If I ever play against an errant, I'll just block it out of the game. I'll just make that 400 points or 300 points useless until I've killed everything else. Okay? If you've got an errant against me, don't even bother bringing it. It will be that useless to you. Okay? And against a good player, that's what's going to happen. All I'm going to do is stand 3.1 inches away from you every single turn, and you're not going to be able to move, right? You just can charge 5 little things. Here's one, though. This pact, heroically intervene, 6 inches, not 3. So now I cannot move block you so efficiently. I have to extend that, okay? I now have to be 6.1 away. So if I'm trying to screen you out from charging my guys, you can now move much, much closer and then guarantee yourself a much smaller charge. So that is a pact. If you're taking a Rampager, in my opinion, is an auto take. Because that will come up so many times. Against somebody that's not very good at the game, yeah, you're not going to need to worry about it because they probably won't know how to movement block. Okay? If they've been on our mentorship course, they're going to know about it. So, yeah, you need to get this one on lockdown. And then the others, to be honest, aren't that great. So, apart from this one, if you're playing other knights, this pack's really cool. When resolving an attack made by this model against a character or Titanic unit, you can re-roll the hit roll. So again, you've got another way there to get re-roll hits. Really cool. And that's in combat and in melee. So I absolutely love that. And that's on all weapons as well. So you could spend 2 CPs to re-roll all misses in the shooting phase with one knight. You could spend that 2 CPs again to re-roll all misses in the fight phase. Spend another stratagem, 2 CPs re-roll in the fight phase. This guy can go in against a character or a Titanic unit and re-roll all misses anyway. Really cool. Really love it. I absolutely love it. So you've got 3 good packs there. And the damnations only kick in if you roll over your leadership on 2d6.
Which are the leadership 9?
Yeah.
Got you.
If the result is less than the... Yeah, so if you roll less than your leadership, which statistically you should, and obviously you could always CP reroll, then, you can just ignore it anyway. And
if you have not rolled a double 6 for a while, that'll be the time when you do it.
Yeah, so I ran, in my list, I run a double... In my Nurgle list that I took to Greetings from the Warp not too long ago, with the Terminators in, the bikes... It's a really hard to hit army. I put in a knight with double rapid fire battle cannons because of the range, and for me, he's, in my opinion, the best knight, the double rapid fire battle cannon. If you're going to take a single knight, I rate him the most, okay? Especially in an army that's hard to hit, because you don't want to just give an easy kill, basically, okay? Most people rave about the Twin Avenger. I think because of the short range, you've got to be more aggressive, and he's going to die very quickly. Because people just want to get rid of him, okay? With a rapid fire...
Let me just pick your brains for a second then. So for the guys that are listening, if they want to put one knight in, your advice would be double battle cannon. There's like a Crusader type knight.
Mm-hmm.
See him at the back, run him Iconoclast to take it.
Yeah.
Sit him at the back with all the range.
Here's what I did. I made him a Dreadblade. So okay. I went for Demonic Vigor.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to roll that 6 to get hitting on 2s. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I just got extra 2 movement, which actually came into its own later on in the game anyway, because I needed, once I basically put the pressure on, and I did what I needed to do, I needed him to be aggressive, and getting extra 2 movement really helped him get back into my opponents. And he ended up getting me line breaker towards the end of the game. But here's the thing with damnations. I picked these ones, okay? So remember, I've got a shooty knight 72 inches away from you. I went for these ones, right? If I lost a wound in a phase, on a 4-up, I take an additional mortal wound. Sorry, I lose an additional... Not mortal, I just take an additional wound. Do I really care about that? Not really. Probably not going to hit me. The other one, always fight last in the fight phase. I'm 72 inches away, I don't care. Yeah, so the damnations are not that bad. Just pick the ones, just be sensible, and this is why you need to know this codex inside out, and I'll probably put together a cheat sheet at some point in the future. If there's enough interest, guys, give it a like, and if there's enough interest, I will put together a cheat sheet for you, okay, and I'll put it on the, obviously on Patreon, Mentorship, and all that kind of stuff anyway, okay? So... The relics, the warlord traits, let's cover those very quickly. Warlord traits, there's just 6. There's nothing Icono or Infernal class specific, which I was a bit gutted about. I thought there'd have been nice, one specific one for each. But anyway, none of them are that great. None of them I would really bother with. So I'll quickly...
What's your top pick out of them? What is the one that you would go for? The top one you think out of that list?
Because if I'm going to go pure knights and I'm going to pick a warlord, obviously you get a warlord trait. I'd go for this one. If the warlord's within range of an objective marker, he counts. If it controls that objective marker, it controls that objective even if there are more models within range of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, it counts as being 10 models. So you're going to just claim that objective.
Got you.
That's probably the one I'd go for.
Yeah, that sounds decent. So
there's one for an extra attack. So if you wanted to make a Rampage or an extra attack, that's okay. There's another one where you can give it +1 advance in charge, and if you're in your opponent's deployment zone, you get another attack. Again, also useful if you want to have a very aggressive Rampager. So one of those, probably the objective holder or the +1 advance in charge is always useful.
Right.
The rest I wouldn't bother with. Okay.
Is there a cost to take it as your warlord? Like, if you've already got a warlord in your army, you want to take
1 CP.
Okay.
But again, I wouldn't do that. I'd only really bother spending that 1 CP because the vows are so much cooler to spend your CPs on, and the relics are really cool. There's some really cool relics. So
as far as you're concerned, then, if I've understood correctly, you're saying basically the warlord traits, you're better off maybe finding them elsewhere with whatever you're aligned with.
Yeah.
Your chaos troops or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Chain Lord or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, even the Chaos Warlord traits are pretty dull. So maybe you do just give him +1 advance in charge. That could be useful. But anyway, the relics are where this stuff gets real spicy. This is Infernal House, which I think is quite good. You double the wound characteristics for finding out what bracket you're on.
Okay.
That's about as close as you're going to get to fighting on full bracket.
Yeah, okay.
So you could have one guy with this relic, he stands back up, kills a few models in combat, and all of a sudden you're doubling his wounds, so now he's fighting on full bracket again, potentially. That could do okay.
So if you're down at like 8 wounds and you're doubling up to that 16, then you should be on a full bracket there,
Yeah.
And so you'd have lost 16 wounds by that stage and you pay 1 CP for that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's okay.
Cool. Yeah.
So that's a good relic. If you're going to go Infernal. There's a relic here for 4+ invulnerable saves against shooting attacks, which is obviously normally a warlord trait I wouldn't actually go for this one. I wouldn't go for it. Because in most of the matchups you're going to face where that would be useful, you can normally just rotate Iron Shields anyway to get you to that 4+, unless you're playing Dark Eldar and they've got the ability to Vect, so therefore you might go for it. Or against a guard gun line where you're going to take hits for days.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So potentially you might want to rotate one and have another one on the 4-up anyway. Okay, so that's...
Yeah, especially on a guard that you got the Relic of Lost Cadia or something like that, where the chosen it that turn, that's a good one to use for sure.
Yeah. So here we go. This is the one I really like. What's an absolute plague at the moment in the meta? What's an absolute plague to the meta?
Poxwalkers?
Plague Bearers.
You
were close, Mark.
Yeah.
But
stuff with pustules on it, green stuff.
Once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, a model with this relic can activate it. When it does, until the end of that phase, invulnerable saves cannot be made against attacks made with melee weapons by this model. And invulnerable saves cannot be made for that model either. You don't really care because they're only hitting you with -0 attacks, right? But now the Plague Bearers, no more invulnerable save for them. So you charge in Mr. 27 attack boy with this relic. All of a sudden, you're going to pick up 23 3 Plague Bearers, whatever, in a turn.
So they'd be basically just get the demon saves. Then I take it on
5 up, but you're doing D3 damage. So statistically, they're very unlikely to roll 2 5s to save a model. Yeah. So I think that's a really cool one. And again, I love the relics because they're so situational. Okay, if this is not an auto take relic. It's one that you pay a CP for. Okay.
So if you're playing ITC, you're in a tournament. You come to your opponent, and they're running the TJ Langen Jim Vessel list.
Yep.
And you go, I'll put that relic on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, P-Days,
Yeah, you're charging up, and then you're doing plenty of damage there, aren't you?
You put him on Mr. Rampage Er. He's running forward with 5 attacks, tripled up to 18 stock. He doesn't need to kill anyone. 18 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s. Just take models off. Cool, I like that. He could also be a warlord. Yeah, so the warlord trait +1 attack. So now he's 6 attacks, tripled up to 18 attacks or whatever. And because you're Iconoclast, that's another attack. So already you're at 21 attacks. That's pretty decent. So then you're going to get the other one here that I really like. What else is an absolute, I can't think of a pun for this one, nuisance in the meta?
Flyers.
Listen to this.
Elatok. Flyers with lightning fast reactions on them, yeah.
When resolving an attack made with this ranged weapon... When resolving an attack made with ranged weapon by a model with this relic, ignore hit roll modifiers. So now all of a sudden, in this, everyone was like, oh yeah, the Avenger cannon will be great, you know. Think about this. You're playing against Elatok Flyers. They make you go first, okay? So everyone thinks the 24 shots with strength 6 -2 damage is the way forward. Re-rolling, ignoring modifiers. It's not, and here's why. If you're playing on 4 of the 6 deployments, and this is where Practical Games gets you for the win, 4 of those 6 deployments, I'm in Eldar Flyer play, I've got 3 in my list, I'll just put them 40... I'll basically put them 50 inches away from you and you won't be able to hit me, okay? And if you want to move 12 inches forward and try and shoot me, I'm going to then, doom and jinx you next turn because you're giving me that knight for free, okay?
Yeah.
So I want that knight to come forward so I can get my weapons in range. So this is why the double battle cannon boy is the ticket, okay? And this is how you make him absolutely brutal. You give him the vow, so he re-rolls 1s against... so this is what I did when I played against the Dark Eldar playing list last week in Harlequin, so a lot of minus, negative modifier stuff. Basically, you've got a battle cannon and the big gun at the top there, okay? He's ignoring all modifiers. If you roll that 6 on his Dreadblade, he's now hitting on 2s, ignoring all modifiers. He's then going to be getting 72-inch range, so he's in range. You can't out-deploy this guy. Okay, Turn 1, he's going to hit you. That is the difference between the 2 knights. So yeah, on paper, the Avenger cannon looks better, but practically the twin rapid-fire battle cannon is the better way to go if you're playing against a good player with this army. Okay. The other thing is then, you spend 2 CPs, re-roll all misses for all your weapons. Okay. So you're hitting on 3s or 2s, re-rolling all misses. And what more do you need to know? You're re-rolling 1s to wound. Yeah. Brilliant, and you're wounding on 3s.
So if you're the player, the Eldari player with flyers, then that becomes a very tough matchup. So, and what you've got to do, you've got to try and be aggressive with your Farseer to try and get in Doom and Jinx range, because your lanes are now not very survivable, where they were incredibly survivable before.
Yeah.
So you need to play aggressively, which could play into the hands of the
Chaos. Because Chaos want you to come close. It's a game of baiting, okay? It's a real baiting game. What person is going to go... Whoever is aggressive will lose that game. Yeah. So that is why, for me, Ben Jones agrees. Ben Jones, an Eldar Flyer player, very good player, also part of the mentorship program. Ben agrees, and I think that's it. I've won the internet for today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyway...
You've had a tough time against Ben's planes before as well, haven't you?
I've had a very tough time against those little planes, yeah. Anyway, so...
horrible man that he is.
These guys, this guy now, has got the potential to do some real work. And when I used him last week, I've got a super hard-to-hit army. I put another knight in that's just out of range of everything. And then, when I played Joe, he put all 3 Ravagers in Deep Strike, okay? And I was like, cool. I'm fine with that, because I can screen him out so far that he couldn't even bring his Ravagers within 36 inches of me. And then what I did was he had 3 Eldar planes, so I went rapid fire on one, rapid fire on the next, launches on the next one. Okay, I don't even care if I kill them or not, because I'm basically going to bracket all 3, because then I can maximise my damage output. Then turn 2, I use my little chaffy units, like my bikes and my Terminators. Okay, that one's got 2 wounds left. All right, Terminators just kill that one. Oh, that one's got 3 wounds left. All right, bikes kill that one. because I've only got to chip off a few wounds, and then the Eldar player, well, they're going to lightning fast? No, there's no point. But you've already got down to 2 wounds, so they're going to lightning fast against 10 Terminators? Probably not. So it's just so good. So good. Rapid fire battle cannon, boys, is the way forward if you're going to play a single knight because you can protect him. Your Chaos Knights aren't as survivable, so use range as a tool to survive, okay, if you're going to use this army. So yeah, I really rate him.
Is that it for the relics?
No, there's one more I like.
Okay.
Basically, when you advance in charge, you add 1 to the result, okay? Another +1 advance in charge. So you could get +1 for that. You could get +1 for your Warlord trait and relic, and then you could get extra 2 movement as well. So you're getting so many pluses to your advancing charges, and you always fight first in the fight phase, which is really cool. And as a Ynnari player, I can tell you how powerful and underrated that is. Because if your opponent selects the wrong unit to attack with first on charge, if they do multiple charges, you can just go, I fight first before your charging unit and I kill you. So again, really, really good. Yeah.
I can also tell you as a Drukhari player with Vexator Mask how powerful that is.
Yeah, on the flip side.
You usually got Grotesques, you usually got Talos. If you choose badly, then I fight first and I'll reroll wounds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something that I've in combat armies I find incredibly powerful.
Yeah. So yeah, there's this other one on a roll of a 6, increase the AP by 1. That's also quite good. So if you did go for the double Avenger, maybe you go for that relic, where all of a sudden, but to be honest, if I'm going for the double Avenger, I might even go for the 4+ save relic, because a lot of people just want to kill him. They know how powerful the Avenger is, and he's like a bullet magnet, or rapid fire battle cannon boy will be making you points, okay? Nobody's going to bother touching him because he's so far away. So anyway, that's my take on the Chaos Knights, guys.
Fantastic. So, just to summarise a little bit, so we've been through the type of knights. Mm-hmm. You've selected, 2 that you think are going to be competitive for guys to put in their lists. We've talked about the different houses, if you like. 3 of which actually, because you've got like a free blade type situation as well. Yeah. What you take out of there. We've talked about the type of weapons that you can select. Mm-hmm. We've looked at the vows, the tables you can roll on. You know how you can improve it there.
Yeah.
And then also we talked about the warlord traits and the relics as well.
Yeah.
I think that from listening to what you've said, because I've not had a chance to have a look at the Chaos Knight Codex. In fact, I was waiting for this VT so I could pick your brain so I could understand much more about it. I think in ITC, with the ability to be able to select relics, at the point at which that you come to the table, that's going to be really clutch. That's going to be very game defining. If you're playing against, like you say, Poxwalkers, if you're playing against the Flyers and you're choosing different relics, it'll be really powerful for people.
Yeah, there's some really cool abilities in this book that I really like. Like, imagine going Twin Fusion and you take the Pact, which gives you reroll hits against Titanic. So this knight now, for no CP spend at all, rerolls all misses against other knights.
Okay.
So good. So good.
Before we move on to the special list that you've got, we did promise everybody that we'd tell you how to beat them as well.
Are we going to do that?
I think we've made a vow to do it. So
we're already at an hour though, Mark. Maybe we should save it. How to better the meta.
Okay. I tell you what. Why don't we have a quick minute on it? Okay. I'll give you my take on it. Right. So you've told me what's available there. Mm-hmm. The most damaging knight that you've described there is double battle cannon, as far as I'm concerned, because of the range. You get hammer and anvil. If I was playing Drukhari, I'd really struggle because I'd be way out of range. If I'm playing Grav tanks, then I've got some range. I'll be okay, but I'm toughness 7 rather than toughness 8. So those graph tanks, they do die quite quickly. Also, it's an arms race, and everybody's been trying to pack a punch that to be able to have it defeat Imperial Knights. So there's plenty knocking around in people's armies to be able to take them down. Where you've talked about, a toughness 9 knight, that makes life hard work. And in that situation, I would probably say...
But that's a different house, toughness 9.
Okay. I'm going to say that it depends on what army you've got, but if you're running Eldari, Haywire with the mortal wounds is excellent for that sort of thing. But you've got to get up close with that. You've got to before. So Harlequin jet bikes, the Talos, that Haywire is fantastic stuff. Tower's got plenty of punch. They're in a good place at the minute. So
the thing is, Tower won't be able to touch them because they'll be out of range.
Yeah.
With the double. The thing is, number one, unless you guys, because you guys are smart, you listen to VT live, so you know the powerful combo with the Chaos Knights. Everyone else will just listen to all the other podcasts and they'll go for Twin Avengers. We know better. So Twin Avengers, real easy to deal with. They've only got 36-inch range, so most weaponary Tau or Eldar planes or whatever can outmaneuver them, get in range, kill them off the board, right? That's no different to what you've seen all the time, okay? Basically, this is how you kill Chaos Knights. Tank commanders are going to be absolute key. The best thing to kill a rapid-fire battle cannon wielding knight is with your own rapid-fire battle cannons, okay? So, for example, I love Talon, move out, shoot, move back in. You've got knights that can't be touched. I really like that. You've basically then got Blood Angel Smash Captains. They're going to do a job. You've got Harlequins, unit of 6 bikes, redeploy them, move them, advance them, Soaring Spite, get your Shadow Seer to follow up, move them again, and then shoot, and you should bracket a knight with a unit of bikes, advance the next squad, get them in range, etc. So Harlequins can do a pretty good job at shooting, but apart from that, and Guard can as well, because they've got the range, okay? Everything else, we're looking for combat options against this boy, okay? That means the Chaos player cannot move out. He is completely zoned, impenned in his own deployment, okay? Smash Captains, Acolytes of Roxors, Aberrants, even a deep striking or the jumping Orc war boss with the Power Claw comes down, charges, he'll take one off the board, okay? So any character that's quite sneaky, that can be placed, charge, get in combat, will do a job, okay? So therefore, combat's the way to go against this guy, or even having that threat. That threat alone will then give you the board. You can't kill him necessarily, but you get the board. You get board control, you hide your key units until later on, you put your key units out of line of sight, because with it, if you're 72 inches away, there's going to be lots of line of sight blocking in between. So you need to think very carefully, what units do you need to keep alive to kill the rest of his army? Let him just ignore it. Ignore the knight. It's only going to kill so much stuff, okay, until he runs out of CPs. And if you've done a good enough job to press him, he's going to have to stay there till turn 3, until the threat of deep strike is over. But you've already had half the game, you're on all the objectives. He's now got to work really, really hard to get rid of you. And meanwhile, you've been using the rest of your army to shoot everything else that's protecting him, okay? That's how you beat it. Alright? So he wants to sit back, make him sit back. But really make him sit back, okay? So anyway, guys, before we move on to the list, a couple of things I wanted to mention very quickly. This brand new, completely free Master the ITC video course that I've put together is going to be available on Friday. Okay, so sign up for that, www.vanguardtactics.com. Get on our mailing list if you're not already on it. I basically go over 5 videos. I go over an introduction to the ITC, pre-game, the missions, how to score, and the secondaries, what to pick, why to pick, and all that kind of good stuff. And then what you can do next to become a better ITC player. So that's completely free, video course, members area, the lot. Okay, so you get your own membership account to our new membership site that will be coming out very, very soon. Okay, we'll probably be putting most of our content on that, all right, on this membership site that we're bringing out over the next 6 months, because also what we've got available, and if you sign up now, you're going to save a huge amount, an absolute astronomical amount. Basically, the mentorship program that we've run with the guys in the chat at the moment, like Jared, Sam, these guys that are on our mentorship program that have been with us since day dot, is $40 a month. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, we're re-releasing the mentorship program on the 1st of September. Everything is going to be professionally done on a membership site. Every single week, you're going to get a new video to that membership site. If the rules change, we're going to update it. Okay, so the contents will be always ever evolving. All right, you're going to get a video every single week. We're talking things like, having the right mindset, fundamentals of 40k. We're going to be talking about advanced tactics, list design, list analysis, game analysis. We're going to be doing deep dive faction reviews, so absolutely everything. I think me and Jack sat down and we planned out about 70 odd different videos we could do. Okay, absolutely ludicrous amount, and that's going to all be on the mentorship program and kicking off on the 1st of September. We've had a lot of sign-ups already for it, so if you're interested, I've already put the link in the chat. Click that link and you can go and check out all the different payment options. But there's one, if you sign up before the 18th of, I think the 14th or the 18th of August, you can save $180, okay, if you pay for the year up front. Okay, so you've got two options, and there's an early bird price as well, so you can either pay monthly at $35, which will be going up to $40 on the 1st of September or after the early bird cut off, or you can pay in full and save yourself $180, which is the most popular option so far. So I'm sure Jared and all the other guys would say how great the mentorship is. You can read all their reviews on our Facebook page if you don't believe us. But guys, go, if you're serious about becoming a good 40k player and you want to start going 3-2, 4-1 at events, and you want to be able to walk up to the table and just feel confident. That's why we're putting this together. Myself and Mark have played loads of games where we've literally just kind of felt completely overwhelmed before. We didn't know what we were doing really, or playing against people and you're just like, oh, I hate your list. It's just going to beat me, or my dice were bad. No. You will never have those feelings. Gotcha moments won't exist once you've completed our mentorship program. And also, I'm going to give a certification out at the end of the year.
Fantastic.
So you can be a certified. There'll be quizzes, exams, absolutely everything, like you would if you're on a university course. So think of this as the first ever 40k university course.
Sounds fantastic. I think that's a brilliant way to describe it. So if you sign up to this course that's been authored by all the VT guys, and Steve has put a massive amount of time and effort into, with all the experience of being a teacher, in his day job and mentoring people, with his knowledge of 40k and all the games he's played. Obviously Steve's the ETC captain for the United Nations, so no slouch. Beating Lawrence of Tabletop Tactics, well, one of the mighty 40k heroes we've got, so played top players, beating the best, and that experience has been put into this course, and we've already been teaching guys this mentorship course 1-to-1 for 6-7 months already.
Yeah.
So the lessons we've been teaching them, we've taken into this course, and what you'll get is basically a lesson every week. A lesson every week that you can go back to and re-listen, re-look at. If you go, I was playing a game, at my local club or a tournament, I had a problem with move blocking, or I had a problem with charging, things like this, or the fight phase. You go, I'll just go back to the lesson, and I'll relearn that, and the next time I won't make that mistake. And I can tell you that I was describing it at the start. I had a brilliant day on Saturday, played 3 games, and I probably didn't make a mistake that I could really think, oh God, I can't believe I've done that. You know what I mean? I had a game plan. I knew exactly what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, and I did that. And it's all the lessons that we've been through and all the teachings I've had from Steve as well. So I scored 25 Maelstrom points in each game I played, which is a big score on pure Maelstrom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did it with a scratch list I put together, and all the stuff that Steve's taught me, all the lessons that we've been through, the games we've played, where we've sat for hours after with a salt and pepper pot going, right, okay, if this was here, try that, what about this, and trying it out. It's all been put into this mentorship course. So get involved, guys. You won't regret it at all.
Yeah, and I've just shared an image of the content, the course content, and also this image you're seeing now is like, this is a little behind the scenes of what it gets. That it's available on any like phone, iPad, whatever device you want, Mac, Windows. It's available. The videos are done high quality. Honestly, I can't tell you how much time and effort I've put into this, making this course as slick as it possibly can be for you, and it's completely unique. There's absolutely nothing else like it. For like sort of Mark said, this sort of diagram is one I use a lot with my nutrition and training clients. Like, knowledge is one thing, but the teacher helps you with knowledge, combining that with experience to basically connect all the dots so you've got a path from A to B. And that's exactly what we're going to do on the mentorship. We're going to take you from A to B. Okay, this is a educational journey over the year. We're not just doing meta-analysis and showing you how we play. We're going to teach you absolutely everything so you can become a better player. So many other coaching services out there are just good players talking you through kind of like, I suppose, what they do, but they don't teach you the how and the why, and the why and the how are so important. So this is some of the stuff you're going to get: a like-minded community, weekly streams and videos, coaching calls, an educational journey from A to Z, delivered by trained teachers, and then you're going to get that personal members area, lifetime access to the content, and absolutely every faction will be covered. So if you want to get really good with Blood Ravens, we're going to show you how to do that. Okay, it's not just you need to take this meta list or whatever. So anyway, I thought I'd just quickly tell you about that. The link is, like I said, below, and all you need to do is go and click that link and sign up for it at your leisure. So anyway, should we get onto the list, Mark? Finish off with that?
Tell me about this brutal list that I'll no doubt face in the coming weeks.
Okay, so basically I've got 3 detachments. I've got 3 Iconoclast Knights, okay? I've got a twin thermal cannon Despoiler with the 3-shot strength A -2, basically D6 damage. We've then got a twin rapid fire battle cannon with the same weapon as well. Okay, we've then got the twin Avenger cannon. Okay, and he has got the weapon that doesn't need line of sight as well on the top, the carapace weapon. So you've got your 3 knights getting you a 6 CPs. Okay, we've then got another detachment with Araman. There's an auxiliary detachment. Okay, we've then got another detachment with a Soul-Forged Pack Lord of War Chitin Ravager. So this is what is so good about this list. The Chitin gets 2d6 advance move. You can double move him. You can give him +1 to hit for prescience, and he advances 2d6, and then for 1 CP he can charge after he's advanced. And he's toughness 8, 22 wounds. So he's basically a 4th knight on the board that can pretty much guarantee a turn 1 charge where the other knights can't. So this guy is ridiculous. And also when he degrades, he doesn't degrade his weapon skill. So you just lose an attack basically, or in a bit of movement and a bit of strength, but also he's just an absolute monster. So this is the list that in Araman is so good anyway. Gives you really good deny ability. He can Def Hex as well, so you can cast on 1 unit. You could take the Relic to ignore invulnerable saves on 1 unit in combat, and then you could cast Def Hex on the next one. He's just an absolute, literally, jack of all trades, kind of so many tricks. I love him. So Araman is in the list. It's a 5 model army, very cool. And because Araman can keep buffing the Chitin, it just makes him super aggressive and somebody that you have to target and really focus on while the knights do their work. So your twin Avenger can now do his thing because you'll get a good turn out of him because they'll be going for the Chitin turn 1. And then also you've got the rapid fire battle cannon who'll be doing your workhorse, and then the twin thermal boys in there again to pick up any other knights. And as we said, you could combo in these relics in stratagems and warlord traits and all that kind of good stuff, as we've already mentioned. So yeah, that's
Sounds
the
good.
list. So that'll be going on Patreon in full on Friday as well.
Property that out, boys. Play your mate down your local club, smash your faces, and then take it to a tournament.
Yeah, definitely. So we've had a couple of questions in the chat. We'll quickly whiz over there and we'll call it a night. Ian said, do you need to attend a lot of the events in the mentorship? No, the mentorship is 100% online, so it's completely self-study and it's online course. Okay, so you just will load up every single week. Whatever day I pick, might be like a Thursday. Every Thursday you'll get a new video in your mentorship library. Everything's already pre-done and pre-recorded, so you'll get that without fail. Yeah. Another question. We will be doing more masterclasses in the future, so stay tuned for those. And again, all that will be announced. So the mentorship, if you're listening to this as a podcast, by the way, and you want to get on our ITC free course or you want to get on the mentorship, just head over to www.vanguardtactics.com and I'll put out all the links. It'll always be at the bottom of the email, the link to the mentorship program. Okay. So just head up and sign up on our website for our mailing list in details and more. How would you edit the list for a no Forge World tournament? Oh, now you're asking questions that I don't have answers to. To be honest, I'd probably just drop the Chitin in there, man, and just put a Rampager in, or maybe 3 War Dogs so you could take. So I quite like the War Dogs with the twin autocannons. I think that just about fits, so I quite like that. You can also go down the route of 3 Lord Discordants with that list, but again, they're too easy to move block. And you need the double move ability with them to really make them effective, and you need good terrain. So they're a lot more situational.
I like the idea of the Rampage in place of the Chitin, because I think that charging that guy up the board, turn 1, your opponent will naturally try and concentrate on it, get rid of it, and it allows your other 3 knights the back line to utilise the firepower to take out their heavy support and do a lot of damage.
Ben Jones has just come up with an absolute corker. Put Magnus in.
Magnus, yeah.
So one of the lists that we're taking to the ETC is a little sneak peek for you. One of the lists is, unfortunately, the cut-off for Chaos Knights was pre, so we're taking the old Chaos Knight book.
Yeah.
We're taking 3 Knights, Morty and Magnus. Now that's a list. That is a strong list. So, maybe drop out those other bits and put in Magnus and Morty. They would work well.
Yeah, sounds great.
Is there nothing to be said for mixing weapons to make target priority harder for your opponent? I think you would actually struggle for target priority, if I'm honest, if you did start to mix and match. Do you just lose your effectiveness of the 72-incher? Do you know what I mean? The rapid fire battle cannon, or that would be really cool. 3 rapid fire battle cannon knights. I like that. I would like that a lot, actually. So there's so many things to play with here, guys. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Give us a big thumbs up if you want to see more, obviously, of these, and also click in one of the links around here. Hopefully, if I can do this properly. And maybe watch one of our most recent videos. I've just done a video on 3 top mistakes people make when writing lists, so you can go and check that out, which is becoming very popular as well.
So I need a favour from everybody. If you're watching this video, please subscribe to our channel. Ask your mates to subscribe. Ask your mum to subscribe. The more subs we get, the more
reach we have.
That's it. Closer to the goal we are of 10,000 subscribers. And what I found out recently, I'm sure you all know this already because I'm old. I've only found this out a couple of weeks ago. If you press the bell on the subscribe, then it gives you notifications for when we're doing lives and this sort of thing.
Yeah.
We try and post out the day before on social media to say when VT is, but you can easily miss it. So please sub, guys. Really appreciate that if you can.
And guys, I'll be perfectly honest with you. This mentorship goes well. I'll be able to make this a big part of my income and also my job, which means I'll be able to put out more content on here. And what I'm going to be hoping to do is maybe 2 to 3 pieces of content a week. That's the goal. So we want to make VT its own fully fledged business. It will support the mentorship program, support the growth of that. We've invested so much of everything that you guys on Patreon have supported with us. It's been put into better camera equipment, light boxes, terrain, mats, absolutely everything.
Yeah, models, airbrushes, paints, the lot. Yeah.
Even the amount it's cost to set up this membership site alone is a huge amount. So, guys, if you are interested and you want to become a better 40k gamer and you want to support us and see us do more content, then get on the mentorship program. And you know what? If you hate it, within the first 30 days, I'll just give you your money back. So you get a full money back guarantee from me. All right?
Cool.
Cheers, Mark. Appreciate your time, mate, as always.
Thank you, mate. It's been good tonight. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for the information. I will be prepared now when I face Chaos Knights across the table.
And you see all those twin Avengers thinking, you should have gone twin battle cannon, mate.
Yeah. I'll tell them after I beat them.
Schoolboy error. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we'll keep that there. Thanks for everyone in the chat. If you've been listening to this as a podcast, then make sure you subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher or wherever, SoundCloud, or else you're listening to it, because I'm going to be starting to put all these VTs on podcasts, so you're going to get a podcast every single week. Take care, guys, and until next time, it's been VT.
Take care. See you later.